Hi, SolarLoon here, and here is another game development stream. How's everybody doing? Bundi and Kazar 42 says hello. How's everybody doing? So let me get everything. It's been a little while since I last streamed. Maybe about a week or so. Some things came up, but now we're streaming again. So let's go ahead and get to it. And let's get a nice little song going as well. Can't hurt to get some music. Hopefully that's not too loud. We'll see. And if anything's too loud or not looking right or whatever, please let me know. So this time we're going to be doing some 2D game development with Godot. Quasar. Okay, Quasar. So this is like a little. Actually, let me get rid of that. This is like a little adventure game I was working on. So it's like this kind of 2D, like RPG kind of thing. Yeah, so basically instead of something 3D and kind of complex, we're going to go with something 2D and kind of simple. Lots of GUI stuff, which is always fun when you have something that makes it easier to do. Should be fun. Should be pretty fun. So we're going to be working on this a little bit, and we'll see how it goes. This is kind of inspired by Megazooks. I don't know if anyone's familiar with Megazooks in chat, but basically Megazooks, I was going to do a video on it once, or a let's play actually of some games in Megazooks. But Megazooks was basically a game engine. It was like a fantasy console almost, because you could edit and play games made in Megazooks completely within the program. You could also code within the program, like change like code behaviors. So it's kind of like a fantasy console before they got popular with like Pico 8 and stuff like that. So like overall, this is kind of inspired by that system, with these like really kind of small sprites and really kind of I'm going to change the resolution so that's bigger resolution, but just small sprites. So basically, that's kind of the feeling we're going for. Let me go and set this. Set this up real quick. We want to change the resolution. Where is that? It's probably like window or something like that. Let's see. No. What am I looking for? Display window. Here we go. So let's go with 320 by 180 and see how big that is on screen. Okay. Okay, so he's pretty small. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. Tony Powell says, awesome to be back to watch the stream. How's it going, Solar? It's going well, thank you. Thank you very much for watching. So in case you're unfamiliar with Megazooks, the resolution of Megazooks is like super high resolution. It's not that it's high resolution, but like the sprites and characters are usually really small, and the actual gameplay it takes place in is like super tiny. Let me see if I can pull up an example. Let's see. What am I looking for here? Oh, I need to go down here. Hold on. This is gonna be music, by the way, so it's gonna sound like trash. So yeah, like this tiny little character, which is like maybe 10 across by 20 high, or 8 across by 16 high, something like that. And the characters are really tiny. And I kind of want that kind of feel. And so that's kind of what I'm going to be going for, where the characters are really small and the actual like game world is kind of big. So we'll see how that turns out. Currently, I have some tile sets, tile maps that work to designate where you can, what it looks like with the floor, walls, and overlay, and then a solid tile set that indicates where the player can and can't walk. it works, but it's a little awkward. Just having multiple layers like this it's not bad, but it is not like quite how I would like it, I guess you could say. It's not bad. It's not too bad. It's just kind of weird, I guess. I'm not used to it. This is gonna be the BG. I like having this. Let me see. Turn on snap. I like having this sprite that just kind of like indicates the background. It's just useful to have this. Like I don't really like having the background be the same color as the kind of world, so I like having this kind of locked like this. Not locked, but like the background is a sprite and the outside is gray, so I can see like, okay, this is the dimensions of my world, or in a sense. Lucretius says, what up, Solar? You didn't start too long ago, did you? Nope. I just started 10 minutes ago. Well, actually 5 minutes ago. And I usually have like 5 minutes where I'm kind of letting people catch the stream. Alright, so this is kind of the beginning. Lucretia says, I started using Godot the other day, moving from BDX to Godot, and it's been a total blast. Yeah, it's something else, indeed. It's always fun to learn something new, though, just in general. Like, even beyond, like, any particular, like, engine or anything, it's just fun to learn new stuff. So far, this is looking pretty good. Truly 2D, which is nice. Okay, so let's go ahead and try some stuff. So yeah, this is how I have kind of everything split up. So the floors is a tile set. Let me do it like that. The floor is a tile set. The walls are a tile set, a different tile map. Because the floors need to exist, like the walls need to exist on top of the floor. And then we have the overlay, which is like the roof. And then we have solid that indicates where the player can move. So let's go ahead and kind of make this a larger room. Lucretia says, I wish there was a faster way to include tile sets way faster, but apparently you have to go one by one, add one tile at a time. Yeah, that's what it seems like. It'd be nice to have, I think I know what you mean. Like, let me see if I can pull up a tile set. Like this tile set, I just made it, you know, individually by each tile. It would be nice if there was some way to like take a sprite and split it out. I think that's what you're referring to, is basically like take a sprite and just have it something automatically look through and split it. That would be probably a good idea. That's probably something that could be really easily coded and added as an add-on, to just like take an image and cut out all of the tiles that are non-contiguously linked, that are non-contiguous. Like, either you could do it so that it just splits it up according to a grid, so it's like, oh, you know, your tile is 10 by 10, then it just goes ahead and splits up and creates tiles for each 10 by 10 grid that has something in it that's not blank. That would be pretty easy to code, I think. Lucretius asks, why do you have a solid block instead of giving tiles a collision shape? Because that way I don't have to have any particular, like I don't have to really have any particular tile be collision enabled. I can just say, oh, I need the collision to be shaped like this, rather than saying, oh, the upward facing ceiling has to be like non-collidable, or anything like that, where I have to have like a specific, rather than basically, I think I want the tiles to be purely visual and then have properties given to tiles, that special specific tiles. I feel like that's just a more easy and fundamentally kind of easy and simple way to approach it, rather than having to like make it so that all the walls are solid. Because what happens if I want a non-solid wall? What happens if I want to have the wall be solid like this, where it's, you know, down a cell so that you can walk into it like this? Like that's, you know, that's something that you can, like this, these two tiles are the same, it's just one is rotated and the other isn't. So it seems like it's easier to just have the solidity be something I can control on a per tile basis. I might go back and change it, but it seems like a good approach. Alright, so let's get rid of that. Let's work in sections, I guess. Rayos Dev asks, have you tried the tiled editor add-on? I did, if I recall. I think I liked it, but I'm using Godot version 3, the beta, version 3 beta, so the tiled add-on isn't available for this particular version of Godot, as far as I know. I think it just doesn't show up in here. I think, if I recall. Yeah, no, it's not in here. So it needs to be, whoops. I didn't mean to close that scene. It needs to be ported over. Lucretia says, I'm guessing you have key bindings for tiles. Key bindings for tiles? I'm not sure what you mean. Because the walls are there. Let's go ahead with the overlay, which we can visualize here. James Rogers says, hey James, how's it going? Oh, I'm missing a wall here. Oh, I don't have the edge. I guess I'll have to do something like this. That's good for now. Let's see. Yeah, okay, that's right. So walls, floor, overlay. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out how this should be shaped. Oh, I'm missing that corner piece. Ugh. Alright, well, we'll have to do without it for now. Oh, I don't have a corner roof. Let's see. Lucretia says, like you switch tiles for painting with the keyboard binding. I just don't see you clicking tiles to paint with them. I would like to have some sort of key binding. They're like, I don't know of any like key bindings for a lot of this stuff, which is unfortunate. Like, I'm really hurting because I want to be able to rotate the tiles, and I think that binding is broken in the current beta or in the current daily build. Like, it says you can use A and S to mirror, but that doesn't seem to work. And there is no, but there really should be key bindings to rotate, but there aren't. So it's like, it's really awkward to paint. Currently, that's the way I feel. Like, it's kind of awkward to paint in the tile map. Boondy says, I think some lighting context would be nice because the water is shaded, but you can't tell which direction the light is coming from. Yeah, it's walls. It's not water. Either that or some motion either that or some motion to the water to show a raise or a dip. Yeah, it's a wall, not water. I gotta choose a different color, I guess. Let's see. Leonard Mayer says, yeah, it looks like a wall to me, not water. So it's if people are asking, then that means I have to change it. Let's see. Right, so yeah, there's definitely some things I need to kind of improve upon here. But it's okay for a start. Let's see. Yeah, I would like to have the tiled editor, or just more focused, more focus on the tile editor. Like, there's not really, I don't think, too much of a reason to have the tile editor in here. It doesn't really add too much. I feel like they could probably just kind of leave that to other programs, unless you can add things to the tile, each individual tile. Like, if each individual, but that's the thing that's kind of weird. Like, each individual tile is set up as a sprite in a tile map scene, but I'm not sure if that is like a true node in Godot, because you have to convert it to a tile set. So it's like, if it were a true node, why do I have to convert it? It should be where I can just load in a scene as the tile set. I shouldn't have to convert it. So I think, like, if I'm converting this into some sort of like optimized node system or whatever, optimized tile set system, where each tile basically can have like solidity, like a collision box and a graphical element, and that's it, then you might as well just leave all of this tile map business to something else like tiled, because it's going to be more well equipped and more efficient to use. So I think that's kind of the one thing I would like to see, is just, well, I don't know. I feel like, all right, well, I'm getting off topic, I guess. I'm getting a little off topic. All right, so I got to figure out exactly what I'm doing here, because this is just kind of awkward in general. It might be easier to combine some of these tiles. Let's see. Yeah, this could be a little... I guess I could combine the wall and the... No, because the wall needs to be behind the player. So the walls need to be behind the player, the floor needs to be behind the player. Those two could be combined. But you can't place tiles on top of each other, I don't think, within a single tile map. Unless there's something I don't know, which there probably is. The overlay scene... I'm sorry, overlay tile map, that's fine. Alright, let's keep going. I need this. Something like that. Let's see. Yeah, that's the general idea. Alright, so that's working. Where's the corner? I need this rotated. Oh man, yeah, I'm missing just like so many different pieces. Actually, I guess I could just like, yeah, I don't really need the corner pieces that hard. Well, I'll leave them in there for now. Let's see. Yeah, people are saying Godot. Yeah, I think it's Godot. Or Godot. I'm not sure. Tony Powell says, any plans to make a game in Unity or Unreal? Why use these non-industry standard engines? I've heard of Godot a while ago, but it doesn't seem to be a market-friendly engine for commercial use. I think it's fine for commercial use. I make a game in Godot because I like it. Unity and Unreal might be like really good, but I mean, I don't really need. I'm making a 2D game here, so Unreal's really heavy, and Unity is similarly really heavy. I think for this kind of game, it's really small. Also, I like to try to make stuff that people could use. So if there's people who are just starting with game development, they could probably make use of the efforts, my efforts to make a game in Godot. Because one day they'll be looking at my stream perhaps and be able to kind of see how I do things. Alright, let's see. I need to kind of work on this ground variant. It could be improved. So use that. Well, I guess that's over here. This can be just something like that. We also could use a corner. That's better. So the tile set, this is now ground. This is ground dark. This is normal ground. This is ground dark transition. This is ground. We'll duplicate it. Let's see. Sam Quabina says, hey Solar, let me start by saying I love your work in the first videos I've ever seen on your channel were the GIMP tutorial ones. Thank you. Thank you very much. Question, what program do you make your art in? Ace Sprite. This one. Ace Sprite. It's good. Archie6, is Godot free? Any licensing? Yes, it's free. The licensing is maybe MIT. So you can, like, you know, make games with it or whatever. It's open source. Let's see. Okay, good. So we have we made some. Oh, that's right. I need to make another ceiling bit, which is a corner. Let's see. Let's move that over here. Let's see. This is 30 and 20. There we go. So let's go ahead and convert this scene to a tile set. That's okay. So then ground dark can be like that. Cool. Wait a second. Yeah, okay, there we go. Cool. This is looking better and better. Slowly but surely. Wait, corner. Corner edge. Let's see, this should be 50. This is inner corner. This should be 50. Okay. All right, so we have the inner. Well, I guess this could just be light. Instead of inner, it could just be light. And dark. Cool. All right, so I think we can just convert that to a tile set. Yes, overwrite. Didn't quite work, but that's okay. This should be actually this one. The lighting is like all over the place, but I kind of like it that way. Let's see. Let's see. John Hamilton says, "Hey, how's it going?" Okay, so this is pretty good. This is pretty good. I think that's actually. This needs to be like that. That's pretty good. Oh wait, this needs to be here. That can be like that. It can be, okay. All right, we should be pretty good at this point, I think. Oh no. I didn't think about that. I need him to stop like a little before. Res996 says, so glad Godot's coming along and getting support. Can't wait for version 3's official launch. Just want to try and put that render engine to work. Could never get into Java and C#. I figured their syntax within a week. I see. Yeah, Godot's definitely looking pretty good and working pretty well. Alright, so that's not bad. This is kind of a lot of dead space, but that's just, you know, the design could be better, but it's not too shabby in terms of actual core, like how it looks and plays. So I have some text and a 9-patch rect with a dialog window. This is the window, and the 9-patch rect allows you to stretch it out and display the window regardless of the actual, like basically it uses these 9 pieces to describe the window to fully draw the window correctly. So we're gonna put it down here. Okay, let's see how that goes. Oh, this shouldn't be visible. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's see. John Hamilton says, what happened to the other 3D, the other game you were making on the other stream, the 3D one? Nothing really. It still exists. I just wanted to do a little something different. Leonard Mayer says, Solar, the clipping issue, if you put the player as a child of the walls tile map, you can enable the cell Y sort option to true. Cell Y sort. The clipping issue? Oh, do you mean like how he can go behind? Wait a second. Let me make that invisible. Clipping issue? I'm not sure what you're referring to. Oh. No. Yeah, I'm not sure if I understand what you're referring to. ZRKO says, at first I thought that was water. Yeah, you're not the first person to say that, so I have to do something with this. Lucretia says, whoa, I didn't know you could use tiles like that in Godot. So useful. How did you set up the dialog box like that? Just a link or something will be cool. So basically the dialog box is just 9 pieces. You know, it doesn't have to be any particular distance in size. It doesn't have to be any particular size. It's just split up into 9 pieces, one for each corner and quadrant. Like one for each, you know, of the 9 pieces evenly. And then when you actually go to create the 9-patch, you select the texture and set the region. So the region is this 30 by 30 square. Then you set the patch margin to be the number of, like how you want it split up. So you say, oh, I want 10 pixels to the left, 10 pixels to the right, 10 pixels to the top, 10 pixels to the bottom, and there we go. And you can also say, oh, I want it to like stretch or whatever. You can't really see whoops, there's no difference here, but like if I didn't have the margin set correctly, you can see what it's doing. So that's stretching, that's tiling. But the default is to properly like, or the correct way to do it, I guess you could say, is to properly like split it up. Let's see. Trying to see how many lines can we fit in here. That's pretty good. Quasar says, just write wall on the walls. ZRKO says, genius idea. Now no one will get confused. James Rogers says, with this project, you've inspired me to start working on a new 2D game. I make way too little games for someone who studies game dev at Unity. I've been way too focused on music. Gotta find balance. Oh, that's nice. It's nice to be inspired. Okay, so we have a character, we have a message box, and text. So that's pretty good. Ozymandias Karzan says, when did you draw the player? I drew him, you mean like, when did I pixel him? When did I pixel this character? I drew him yesterday, or the day before. It's not too hard to draw a character that's this small, even with kind of fluid animations like this. You can't see, I air quote right now, fluid. You can't see the fingers, but just imagine that I'm air quoting right now. Let me see if you might be able to hear it. I think you might be able to pick that up, like just barely. You might be able to hear my bones like. Yeah, that's. I'm air quoting. Yeah, fluid, quote unquote. It's like 6 frames of animation. So I'll probably do another character or two in this stream to test out dialogue boxes and stuff. So we have a character. He can move around. He doesn't really slide that well along the ground. Slide that well along the walls. He kind of like he can, but it's kind of like grindy. You can see he's moving a little slower because it's like kind of like it's moving at this angle, and because he can't move up, it's just moving like this much. And then when you press right, normally he moves like this much. So it's faster to move, not against the wall, but it's not too bad. Yeah, it's not too bad, but it could still be a little better. Yeah, it's a little jank. That's fine. It's not that big of a deal. We can keep moving. All right, so let's do another tile. Let's do like a pillar. I should just do it like this. So I'm trying to like stick to a limited number of colors too. That's why I'm using dithering. I don't usually dither, but yeah. John Hamilton says, currently I'm just procrastinating. I'm working on my game. Yeah, it can be hard to build up like the desire. Let's see. Kikete Game Dev says, I don't get the shadows. Yeah, the shadows basically don't really make sense. I'm just like, this is kind of just a test. It's not really what it's supposed to look like or what the game's supposed to be about. I'm just kind of like testing movement and dialogue and stuff. ZRKO says, Same thing here. Solar really inspired me to really try my best into making games, and how I got my idea for a game I'm working on at this moment. Haha, that's cool, man. That's great. And thank you. I'm glad that I'm glad that people are making games. It's nice to see people making games. Matthew Findelator says, "Are you using Godot 3? Decided to experiment with it a bit this week. It's pretty cool." Yeah, I am. Let's see. I wonder why. Okay. Okay. So yeah, I would probably really actually like prefer the like tiled loader if that could be ported over. Maybe I'll port it or something. I don't know, because I feel like this is just kind of awkward for me to work with currently, and I probably would like tiled. So I'll look into it. Either I'll move to Godot 2 because I don't really need any Godot 3 features for this game, or just I'm working on pure 2D, so it doesn't really matter if I use the old version of Godot, but not being slowed down when it comes to tiling, especially when it comes to prototyping. That's important. Okay, so anyway, let's keep looking around. Alright, so we have some dialogue that's working. So this is going to be the dialogue window. And currently, and this is going to be the dialogue text. And currently, this is like just sitting here in the game scene. It would be better to split this out into its own scene. So that's probably what I'll do right now, I guess, actually. Let's see, is there a way to do that? I feel like there is. Save branches scene. Okay, this is going to be the dialogue. I guess the GUI scene. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Dialog window. Dialog window, dialog text. Okay, let's add a node. Oh no, I can't actually do that, can I? Let's see. This is just kind of like an awkward thing about Godot. The whole tree root thing is just, I never like it. It's just awkward. I don't really like it at all. The whole, like, there can be one node that's a tree root, and you can't, like, for some reason duplicate a tree root, and you can't, it's just, like, why? Just why is this here? Why is it in the way? Why is it so difficult to just kind of, like, work around? Alright, let me see how I want to do this. Because I want a node that basically represents the GUI scene as a whole. I'm sorry, I want a scene that represents the GUI layer as a whole. And that's going to be a node. I'm going to put a node here. So I can't really do that here that easily. I guess I'll just, I don't know. Let's just do it like this, node. Can I copy paste? Is that a thing? No. I can duplicate, but I can't copy paste. Merge from scene. Okay, maybe I can merge from scene. Okay, that's fine. This is the new GUI scene then. Okay, this is GUI. Alright. Cool. Alright, so we have the dialog window and the dialog text. That's good. So what we're going to do then is test this out real quick. We're going to make it so that the dialog window Rails Dev says you can change the top node type. Yeah, you can, but the problem with this entire node system, like, it's a nice system, nodes and scenes being, you know, instanced in as nodes, like, it's not a bad idea, I don't think, but the idea fundamentally that you can't save a scene unless it's got a node, that's one problem. There doesn't really need to be that designation. It's just, it seems like it's just there arbitrarily. I'm sure there's a reason for it underlying, like, inside, but it just seems like, why can't I save a scene even if it doesn't have a node? But then the flip side of this is, what if I put something as the base node, I can't change it. That's like, you can change the type, but you can't say, I want this node to be the base node, and I want this node to be a child of it. I want to switch these. There's no ability to switch, which is a shame. That's a huge shame, because if you have that situation that I just had, where it's like, oh, I want to add something in, to the parent, I want to parent this node to something else. It's impossible to do. Why is it impossible to do? Just, why is it impossible? Not difficult to do. It's just something you can't do. Like, I wouldn't even mind if there was a specific button or like something you have to right click to do. Like, it would be annoying, but at least it's like, well, it's something you can do. But to not have the option at all is just strange. Like, I have to go ahead and make a new scene, make the node I want there, and then merge in from the scene I saved, the nodes, the setup I have. Like, why? I mean, just why? Like, I don't know. It's just awkward. It's just awkward. Doofus says, howdy. Howdy, Doofus. Magic Bacon says, you can just create another node and reparent the dialog box to it. Can I? Well, I don't think I can do that for, let me see. Reparent? Yeah, you can reparent, but not on the root of a scene. So you can't reparent this node to anything else. So in that situation I had previously where the dialog window was the top level node, you can't reparent the top level node to something else. So it's really kind of awkward. It's like you have to start off with a node. But then, like, why don't they just put a node at the beginning anyway? That's kind of the flip side. Is like, if it's awkward, if it's so like impossible to put anything else as the top level node, why not just start each new scene with a top level node? Because whether you're making a 2D scene or a 3D scene, you're going to want a node there. Either you're going to want a spatial for 3D, or you're going to want a node 2D probably. So it's like, I mean, I guess you could also want a control, but for the most part, you're going to start with something. So like, why not just put something there or something? I don't know. It's just, maybe it's an impossible kind of impossible problem. Okay. Enough complaining. Alright, so we have the GUI scene in there. It's working. We want to be able to clear the text and add the text, or add text to it. So we're going to put a script on here. Just trying to see the difference between set process and set fixed process. Oh, enabled automatically if process is overridden. Oh, I had no idea. Okay, so I don't actually have to call that. I can just do this. Oops. That means I can go back here and remove this set process. Okay, so this is the 9-patch rect. This is a dialog window. So we're going to have a variable that says text, I guess. And we're going to set, we're going to have a thing for this. Text line equals dialog text. Oh, that actually doesn't work because the node doesn't exist yet. Let's see. So I can say text line dot. Okay, so that might work. Let's see. If that does, then we should be able to go to the player and say if input dot is key pressed key A, let's see if we can do it something like this. Get tree dot get. Well, let me see something real quick, because I'm not sure exactly how scenes work. Okay, so the GUI scene. Never mind. It's right there as a node. So if input get if you're pressing the A key, then we want to get the tree dot get. Why isn't it telling me more about the scene tree? Get root. Okay. Dot get. I want this. Get, whatever. Scene tree. Oh, get root just gets the viewport. So can I just call get root? Does a node have that? Access to that? No. Okay. Get viewport. Okay. Get viewport. Dot. It's a node so that it has children, right? Get child. Let's see. I don't quite remember. Get child. Find node, okay. Shoot, I don't remember how to get children again. There's find node, but then there's something else. There's like if you know exactly the name, get node. Okay, get node. Oh, never mind. I can just use get node. What am I thinking? Okay, so I can just say get, because I know the path already. Get node root. GUI node. Is that right? Or do I just go GUI dialog window dot text equals testing? I'm not sure if this will work. Didn't work. Let me see something real quick. So root node. Okay. So I have a node at the top. So we'll say this is game. There it goes. It's working. That's nice. Okay. So we're gonna call set text testing. So what this is gonna do is call a function on this dialog window. That allows us to set the text like this. Very nice. Now what we're gonna do is nullify the text on the text line. Oh, okay. Nullify the text that's on the text line, and then we're gonna slowly type it out. So how we're gonna do that? Let's see here. So we can use this %visible to do this. Let's see. Oh, people are talking. I've missed a lot of stuff. Winder Alves Liborio says there's already invisible root node. Yeah, I'm not sure about the whole root node thing. Oh, Magic Bacon says you can do onReady var text line equals whatever. Oh, really? So I don't have to do it like this. I can do onReady. Ah, okay. That's better. Thank you. Rails Dev says, why don't you use signals? I find that is a safer way for working with external scenes. I have yet to use signals. I know they exist. I don't know much about them, how they work, or what they do. I'm guessing that it's like a notification. Like you can send a notification and then something else can receive it. And it doesn't really matter. Like I can send a notification or a signal and I don't have to get the actual node like this. Let's try it. Let's see. Signal, emit signal. What kind of thing is it expecting? It's expecting a string. Okay. A signal and then something after that. It can be something after that. So we'll say set message, or I guess we'll say message wing test. So then the dialog window, I'm guessing func signal. Is there something to receive a signal? I'm learning about this like right now, by the way. I have a general idea of what this is probably gonna do. Interface for okay, so I could try this. Let's see. So we have this. We want a signal. Okay. So these are the signals that exist already. I see. On dialog window resize. I see. Okay, I'll just read up a little bit on signals. Because that probably would be the better approach. I just don't know how to use them. Let's keep going though with what we got here. Alright, so this should work for now. Set text. Okay, testing. So, right, we're gonna be using this, where is it? This percentage visible to control how much text is visible at any given time and slowly walk it through. This is cool. I don't really like it's not a fixed number of characters. Like, it's not like I'm advancing one character at a time. It's just, it's kind of willy-nilly. Like, in order to make it advance one more character, I need to get the number of characters in the text, I guess, divided by 1. All right, it's not too bad. That's not bad. Okay, that's an okay approach to things. So I guess I can say text line dot text equals text. But we want to say text line dot percent visible equals 0, and then text line dot percent visible plus equal 1 divided by 1.0 divided by text line dot text dot length. Let's see. So then we don't need a self-text variable at all. Let's try that. Not bad. Times delta. So every second, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000. Very nice. So let's see. Tick speed equal, we'll say it takes 1/4 of a second. Tick speed for a new character. All right, so that actually does work. Let's go with I guess I could say characters per second. Characters per second. We'll say it's 1. We'll say it's 10 characters a second. Nope. It's the wrong direction. I need it to be multiplied by the number of characters per second. Very nice. So actually on ready, well, we don't have to do that here. We can just do this and have the text be blank. Oh, what happened? Division by 0 at, okay. It doesn't like it if the text line is set to this 0 length. So if text line dot text dot length is greater than 0. We'll say else visible. Shoot, I don't know how to do this. Let's see. How do I set a node to be visible? I'm being stupid right now, I think. Visibility enabler? Is that what I'm looking for? Enable certain nodes only when visible. No, that's not what I'm looking for. I need to actually see node or control. Let's see. Let's see, canvas item, visible. Okay, it's just a boolean. I don't know why I'm thinking it's not. Okay, so then this could be visible or not. Oh, it's a canvas item. Okay. Okay. Very nice. Let's see. Lucretia says, what is solar programming right now? Mariana Sulagoy says, hi there, am I late? Not really. I'm about an hour in, so like maybe around half. Rails Dev says you could also use the timer node to not bloat the code. Oh, that's true, I could, yeah. I could use a timer. That might be better because that kind of, well, I still have to, like, I have to add to the percent visible 1 divided by the length of the text anyway, so it's not really, like, this is pretty much all that the timer would be saving me, so it's not a huge deal. Alright, so that's actually pretty good. So we can go ahead and press A, and he'll spit out that text testing thing, and that's it. We need to determine when, like, he's able to move and stuff. So I'm thinking that the easiest way to do this, because we don't actually want to pause the game. ZRKO says that was fast. An hour in, that was fast. Yeah, man. It goes quick. Let's see. So the current thing I need to do, I need to have like a global scene that kind of, like a globals, so I can kind of keep track of like what you're doing at any given time. I think I can use auto loading to auto load a path, and I'm guessing that's the singleton here is probably going to be a checkbox, so that I can access it easily. Let me see. The idea is that basically I need to have something that holds game data and be accessible from anywhere. So like if you're talking to something, interacting with something, that pauses your character's movement, and that also would let's see, how do I want to do this? Okay, I'm thinking. Let's get a different song. Different problem, different song. Oh, actually, this won't loop correctly. That'll loop. Rails Dev says you can auto-load a script and that is accessible everywhere. Yeah, but I'm trying to think of like if I really need that. Oh, Mariano Sugoi says you can use project settings. Project settings that's set. Oh, that's also something I could do. Rails Dev says you can also do it with scenes. Yeah, it's true. I could just append a scene, basically. Load a scene. And keep it around. And like cut out everything else. That's something. So I guess I could just make it like a node that just has it in there. Like I could just do that. Let's see. Well, let's separate that from, keep that in mind, but let's really see what we're trying to do here. So like you interact with something and then the player can't move. So it really doesn't matter if it's global or not for now. It probably would be global later, but for now all I need to do is stop the player's movement. So let's go ahead and do that, because that's basically just a state on the local to the player. So if you're interacting, if not interacting, you do this. If input that is action pressed, interact, print, interact. So what we're gonna do because I don't actually have an interact key binding set up. Let me go ahead and get that. Except is enter space. Yeah, no. Nope. We're gonna have to make a new action. Interact. Interact is gonna be the X key. And the A button. I don't know if we need a cancel currently. We're just gonna leave it at that. Alright, so you press interact and it prints out interact. Does it do that correctly? Yes. Is action just pressed? Interact. Alright, so you can interact with stuff. But once we do that, then we go ahead and say interacting equals true. So then he shouldn't be able to move anymore. Yep. Can't move no more. But his animation should still continue to work. That's fine. Alright, that's good. So once we interact, that's when we say, okay, we're interacting with something, you know, let's kind of not like once we interact with something I'm just like I'm kind of like freezing. My brain is freezing. Once we interact with something, we need to check to see if there's something to interact with, and if so, kind of call interact on that thing. I guess signals would probably be good, or just anything to kind of interact with other objects. Mariano Sulu, well, yeah, I'm not sure how signals work. Do they work like, can you target objects? Get node on button press, ready, connect, press, on button press. Okay, so that's how that works. Okay. Let's see. So you can't actually target a signal, huh? Or is that not the case? Objects can have a set of signals defined, connect. Oh, this is C++. Okay. Okay, so yeah, I'm not sure if you can actually target a signal send. If you can target it, then that would be a good choice for what I need to do with this, but otherwise that's not what I need right now. So I can define a signal. Simply drag it to. Oh, this is. Oh, okay. Oh, this is visual scripting. Okay, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking off screen. I'm sorry. Let's see. Okay, so an object has signals. So I can emit a signal, but it doesn't seem like I can. Add user-defined signals. Connect a signal to a method on a target object. Yeah, I have to kind of look into signals a little bit. Maybe I can fudge around and figure it out. Lucretia says, are there finite state machine objects in Godot? No. I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm not sure, but I don't think there are. Man, this is like that straight up, like completely old school Commodore 64, like super simple graphics. Where it's just like super obvious it's split up into tiles and stuff. But I guess they actually like were able to kind of get some good stuff by kind of paying attention to how the tiles were split up and things like that. Okay, so let's get back to what we're doing. Okay, right. So finite state machines, I'm not sure. Yeah, there's nothing built into Godot that does that, but you could probably easily do it with just nodes and know-how. Let's see. Okay, so this is working fine. So we need to use ArrayCast to determine when you can interact with something, and then tell it to interact. Don't need that. Don't need that. Where's the player at? Oh, whoops. So this is, yeah, we don't need this anymore. We can just interactable. Okay. He can cast to 20 forward, or 10. His position, yeah, that's fine. 5, he can cast another 5 forward. We'll say 10. We'll say 5. We'll say 6. That's fine. Okay, so then we need that's what I was doing. Let's make something to interact with. Okay, that's a little tiny little pot. This could be a darker color. Looks like a money sack or something. pretty good. This could be a darker. Yeah, that's better. Cool. So this is a tiny little pot. All right, so let's go ahead and try this out. So let's go ahead. Oops. No, that's not what I wanted to do. I moved the player in here. Move him out. Okay. So what we're gonna do here is try something. Let's go to floors, walls. Let's go with the walls. Mariano Sulugoy says, easier way is adding interactable body objects to an interactable group and check raycast.getCollider.is in group interactable. Yeah, that's probably good. That's probably a good idea. Now, what I'm thinking though is I need to kind of make it easy to place these objects. So, I mean, putting them in the tile map would be kind of obvious because that makes it easy to place them physically in the game world. But I need to also be able to edit those objects to change like what they say or do. Well, let's not get too hung up on the specifics. Because I can't make like interactable a tile because I can't edit any tile property. I don't think. There's no way to like. Yeah, I don't think there's any way to edit a tile's property to make it like individually different. Collision, use camera. Yeah, okay. So that's not gonna work. So we'll probably go with just a sprite, I guess. And have it so that it has an interactable node. And the node's like maybe message property is different. Maybe we'll do something like that. Let's try that. So we have this little thing, this little pot. Is that too small? It might be a little small. Let's make it a little bigger. Because he himself is 2 tiles large, so. Oh, whoops. That looks a little better. There we go, that's good. Okay, we got something good with that tile. James Rogers says, okay, so when making low-res games, go native in the engine? I'm not sure what you mean. Do you mean like go 2D? Or do you mean choose a native engine? Mariano Sulugoy says, you could replace, and by native, do you mean like a native 2D engine or one that uses 3D techniques to draw 2D in the second dimension? I'm not sure. In just 2D, 2 dimensions? I'm not quite sure what you mean. Mariano Sulugoy says you could replace tiles by a scene on startup. That's true, I imagine. He says, or they say, but it's a little intensive. Yeah, I would imagine removing the scenes, removing the tiles and replacing them with things could be, I mean, that seems a little heavy because I don't think we really need to do that. And I don't think that's probably a good idea because we still need a method to actually edit each individual tile, because, you know, like when you think of RPG Maker, how they do it, like the event, you can't see me doing the air quotes again, but the event is something you place on the game board and edit the properties of, and then you interact with that event, regardless of if it looks like an NPC or whatever. It's just a visual. It's like the visual representation is separate from the actual implementation in terms of what you interact with, for all intents and purposes. Like I said, the NPC can like move around, or you can have special properties, but the event is on a different layer. So I don't think we want a tile set. Like we don't want to put the tile set. We can't have the tile set inherently interactable. It needs to be an object on top of the tile set. So if we want to interact with it, so we could do this a couple of ways. Let's go ahead and have the tile be there. Let's do it like RPG Maker. That's a good idea. Scenes tile set. This is going to be the vase, or I guess pot. The region is over here. It is 60 by 0. Okay, there's the pot. So the pot is just there. Let's go ahead and save and convert it to a tile set. Overwrite. Okay, now we have the pot, and we can say we want to put the pot, not rotated, just right there. Now, if we want it to be solid, we have to make a solid tile and put it. What am I? Okay, make a solid tile and put it here. So now we can't walk into it, right? It just crashed. Why did it crash? Oh, I removed that. I didn't mean to, or need to. Okay, so now we can't walk into it, right? Yeah. Okay, now you see that's not supposed to happen. Like, that's fine. That's not. We need the object to be... I imagine this is what you were talking about earlier. The walls need to have Y-sort on so that we can actually have the... Yeah, so that the player walks behind it. Okay, so that works. Cool. Alright, now if we want to actually interact with this pot, now we need to have basically an interactable object. To represent this, we're going to make a yellow square. I would like a much brighter yellow, but I don't have one. Let's go with blue, I guess. No, it's yellow. That's fine. I want blue for exits, maybe. Okay, so now we're going to make a new scene. It's going to be a sprite. The texture is going to be the tile set. Whoops. I mean the tile set graphic. Region's going to be this little yellow square, which is 50-10 and 10 by 10. Okay, so there's the square. This is going to be the event object. Okay, now what this is going to do. Marakujin Ray says, "Hey Loon, sorry I'm late, didn't get the notification." How dare you? No, it doesn't matter, man. Thanks for stopping by. Boon D says, "We need to make a program that displays quotes every time he needs them." Quotes. Mariano Sulagoy. Oh, Mariano Sulagoy says, "Use texture region editor." I forgot about that. It's faster. You're right. This is faster. Oh wait, auto slice. Okay, I thought for a second it would just automatically slice it. I was about to say, but yeah, that is actually. Oh, that is very nice. So how does it? Okay, so it automatically knows I'm looking for. It automatically sets the region when I have something with the region. Okay, that's very nice. Yeah, very cool. Okay, so this is the thing we're looking for. The event. Well, I guess we'll name it the event. And it basically is something that can be interacted with. So we'll just have a basic script that runs on it that has an interactable variable. I don't actually have to do that because somebody mentioned I can just add it to a group, which I should be able to do here. Add a group. This is going to be interactable. Or I guess interactable. Let's go with that. Interactable, yeah. Oh shoot. How do I actually add it to that group though? Can you tell I'm a noob? Or is it automatically in the group? Okay, I guess it's automatically. It is in that group. Okay, that's fine. All right. Mariano Sulugoy says, you are very welcome. I made the texture region editor, by the way. Really? Wow. That's great, dude. This is actually like a really nice little feature. Very nice. I mean, like, I kind of feel like that this is a better, like, this is closer to being a nice tile editor, a tile mode selector, than this tile map, like, system, this thing. Because, like, I don't really care about the names. I don't really care about the visualization of them like this that much. This isn't, like, I don't really need that. I can just see and I know what it is, naturally. So, I mean, like, I kind of wonder if this could become kind of combined into the texture region editor. Okay, well anyway. Alright, so we have our stuff looking pretty good, working pretty well. We just need to add an event to represent the thing to interact with. So let's go ahead and link an object, the event object. It doesn't have to be in there, we can just put it out here. The event object, there it is. We can just move it over. Let's see, I guess I want it that. There we go. Okay, so the event object actually isn't visible. Well, I need it to be visible in the editor, but not otherwise. There's no way to kind of like do that, like show it only in the editor. There probably is, and I just don't know how. But I'll just do this. Visible equals false, and we don't need it to be interactable anymore with a variable because it's already in the interactable group. Okay, so this indicates that there's an event here and that it's there. So let's go ahead and go to the player, and we need to do a ray cast here. Ray equals, where's the players? Interactable. Interact ray. Ray. Ray dot print. Ray dot is colliding. Does that work? We want it to be enabled. There's no way to find this. Is colliding? Yeah, is colliding. Okay, let's see. Okay, so actually let's not set that. Print ray dot get collider. Get collider, it is the closest object. Okay, so it's gonna be the actual node that's colliding with. Alright, so nothing. Tile map. Tile map. That's not good. We want it to collide with multiple. Like because it's colliding with the tile map. That's true, I guess, but it's also it needs to be colliding with other things. It's colliding with multiple things, rather. Mariano Sulugoy says, I also did the auto-tiling system. Lucretius asks, what's auto-tiling? So basically, if I understand what auto-tiling is, it's like you define rules, and then when you place tiles, you don't have to actually say, like, I have these tiles split up like this. If I had the auto-tiling system set up, I could just draw in this kind of shape, and it will automatically, like, put the correct tiles in the location. So I don't have to actually, like, select the individual tiles. So that is actually like a far faster way to do it than the way I was doing it. So yeah, auto tiling is very helpful. All right, so this is not bad. So, but the problem we're having now is that we need to check for more than simply one collider, because we need to know like what are the other collisions we're getting, like out of all of the colliders. I'm just kind of like realizing, is there no way to get more than one raycast? Or am I have an idea of how I could do this, but I'm trying to see, is there any other way to do it? Because there should be, like, there's no X-ray or... Oh wait, can I use an area 2D? Is that something I could do? Let's see, instead of an interact array, area 2D. Does this give me like a... Hold on, let me see. This might be better than a raycast. Get overlapping bodies and areas. Okay. Physics body 2Ds. Okay. So this actually could work. Okay, we'll go with this, because I don't really need a raycast. I just need something that can move around, and that represents the space. Okay, so we don't need gravity. Yeah, we don't really need any of the gravity stuff. We just need... This is kind of strange. Oh, do I need a collision thing for this to work? I'm not sure what determines one in terms of scale. It's just kind of like, is it just arbitrary or what? Okay, well, we'll do something like this. Position 0.5, 0.5. 0, 0. Oh wait, I went 5 over 10. Okay, cool. We'll go with this. All right, let's see. Interact area. All right, let's try this and see. So the event actually needs to have a collision thing then. It needs to have a static body, I guess, and a collision shape. The collision shape can be a square, which can have extents of 5 and 5, so that it's 10 pixels large. Okay, so that seems like a pretty good start. Now over here, we don't need the tile set to be open actually. Over here, the player has an interact area, so that should be good. The event's there. Okay. Let's see, so if I say debug visible collision shapes, can I actually see the area? No. Is it because it's not visible? Let's see. Yeah, it's not visible. Okay. Alright, so this is a start then. So the area 2D might need a... Yeah, Mariano Sulagoy says... add a collision shape node. Yeah, I kind of thought that I might need to do that. I wasn't sure if I would have to though. And don't scale physics bodies. Bad idea. Whoops. So that's fine. I guess we can move it. We just need to have a collision shape. 2D. It can be a rectangle as well, and that can have an extents of 5 and 5. That's better. Okay, so that should be better. Okay, so now we don't have is colliding, we have interact area. And let's see. We want to get a list of the overlapping bodies. I think. Yeah. Get overlapping bodies. Okay, so we say for body in area.overlapping bodies, or I guess get overlapping bodies. Print body for now. Okay, so if area dot is there like is anything touching this kind of thing? No. Okay, so we'll just say bodies equals area dot get overlapping bodies if bodies dot length is greater than 0, then for body in bodies print body. Okay, let's try that. Whoops, forgot to use var here. Non-existent function length in base array. Arrays don't have length? Is it like that? If so, that's kind of strange in a sense. A little bit. Kind of strange in a sense. A little bit. But I guess that's fine. Okay, so we got the kinematic body, the tile map, and the static body. So I'm guessing the kinematic body is the player. He's kinematic, right? Yeah, he is. This should, does this not have? Okay, I guess it doesn't have. Alright, that's fine. So, for body and bodies, we say if body dot group is in group interactable. Group. I guess it would be in a node actually. Group. Is in group. Okay, specified group. Okay. If body is in group interactable, then we want to set interacting to true. How did I spell interactable? Let's see. What did I do with the interactable? Okay. How did I spell it here? Interactable. Yeah. Let's see. Mariano Sugoi says size. Length is for strings. So size? Bodies.size? It's not in the group? Interactable? Isn't it? Didn't I spell this correctly? Or did I do something wrong? Interactable. I must have spelled it wrong? No. Yeah, that's fine. Interactable. Print body is a group. Print body dot get name. Am I not looking at the right body? Okay, the player is not in the group, yeah. Player, solid, static body 2D. Oh, okay. Oh, it's because this is sprite. Right. Okay. So it's right. Okay, that makes sense. So I guess I really want to kind of switch this around then. I probably want the static body to be the event and the sprite to be the visual. Boy. Alright. This is gonna be a pain. Let's change the type to static body 2D. Is that how I? Yeah, okay. That's how I did it. Move that up here. Delete the old static body. That's fine. Add a sprite. tile set, region, enabled, texture region, this sucker right here. There we go. All right, that should be better. So then the sprite, okay. So then, yeah, cool. Event, collision, shape 2D, okay. So I think we're good then. Let's try that. Nope. It doesn't extend sprite anymore. It's now a static body 2D. Also, sprite event. Okay. So this is now in the group. Okay, cool. Lucretia says, "Is there a way to only collide with groups?" It's a good question. Okay, there we go. And now I can't move. Perfect. So it's working. So we can actually make the sprite invisible now. Now we just have to make the area switch around according to the player's position. Let's see. Let's move this out here because we're going to need it. Okay, so... wait a second. Area, right? Area? Yeah, area. There's no way to replace this. Edit, search, and fine, whatever. Interact area. I'm trying to like use like IntelliJ IDEA shortcuts, and they don't exist. Okay, that should be it. All right, so interact area dot. We want to set its translation. What am I looking? What am I thinking of? Translation, yeah? What am I? Position? I'm not used to 2D, I'm used to 3D, so I'm like, I have to kind of get my brain back. Okay, it's position, alright. So we want to set its position to be, okay. We want to set the interact area's position to be the player's position, but also plus move vec. It's normalized, so it's 1. So we want to multiply it by 5 pixels. Is that about right? Let's see. Nope. I forgot. It's already doing that, so we don't have to do that. We just say move vec times 5. Alright, that's not bad, but it's still off a little bit. So we probably want it to be... interact area dot position dot x equals... I'm trying to think of a nice, like, easy way to do this. Let's see. Oh no, did I? Okay, I thought I broke something for a second. Leonard Mayer says, Lucretius, collision layers and collision masks. Yeah, that's useful. For colliding and stuff. Let's see. The problem is what I want to have enemies in all in one collision layer so they interact with the player, but at the same time the enemies do not interact with each other. So just put a collision over the enemy collision layer. You could just put the enemies, like, make it so that they don't collide with stuff, like put them on layer 2, put the player on layer 1, and make it so that they only collide with layer 1. Or make it so that they don't collide with anything and just use an area to test for collisions, or other means to test for collisions. Alright, so we want to set the interact area's position to be the dot y to dot x to be 0. Well, I don't really want to do this particularly because this is just kind of a waste, but 0, 5, and then plus equal move vec times 5. Let's try that. Something like that. Alright, cool. So then we need to do, if it's interactable, we want to interact equals true, break. And before that, we want to get the body. We say if body dot has method interact, then call body.interact. Let's try that. So interact okay, so now exactly what we want to do with this interact kind of it's different depending on what the actual thing is. So the easiest way, we want to keep that, I guess. Oh, that's right. Somebody just said you want to. Let's see. Michael Redford says, "Oh snap! You joined the party." Green Cafe says, "You're up in the 40s again with viewers." GG. Yeah. Thank you very much for everybody for stopping by so far and watching me stumble and bumble my way through Godot. Okay, so the exact nature of the event changes depending on obviously what kind of event we want to do. So for this, it might just be to display a message box. For something else, it might be something else. So it might be good to make a tool at some stage that allows that makes a tool at some stage that kind of allows us to plot out like a sequence of events. Like say this message, say this message, give this item, say this message, die, that kind of thing. Some kind of like visual programming language, but not quite a visual programming language, with just kind of a set number of interactions. So maybe like an event. Shoot, I'm not sure. James Rogers says, LOL, sorry for the vague question. If I'm making a low resolution game with pixelated assets, is it a better idea to go with a lower game window resolution? It doesn't really matter. You can go with a high resolution game with pixelated assets or a low resolution game. It's not a huge difference. I mean, like, it depends on the kind of assets you're using. It depends on the kind of game you're making. Mariano Sulagoy says, I did this once in a Pokemon tutorial. I added a child called event and then childs to that event with scripts for every command. Oh, that's something I could do, yeah. Because I think actually you can go and like tweak a singular event. In here, oh, well, no, you can't. You can like edit it. But I'm editing the actual event here, I think. Like if I duplicate this, I go in here. Yeah, I'm not actually like. Yeah, okay, I'm that's fine. Yeah. So yeah, that won't really work. I need to have some kind of system to tell what exactly you're interacting with. This will have to be for the next video. It's really interesting. It's an interesting idea. The idea is basically like I want something that's extendable. Ideally, it'd be something that's kind of editable from the GUI, but not in an awkward way. What do we got? What are our options? Let's see. We can edit this stuff here. I know that you can add things here, but they're not like, they're just little like spinners and things like this. Like you can't add like an entire like visualization here. Change to editable children. Oh. What? Mariano Sulagoy says, then you can add children to children. Really? Oh, I see. So each event could be a node that I tweak. Oh, snap, that's actually pretty good. That actually will work pretty well, actually. That actually is working pretty well. Michael Redford says, nah, man, it's cool. I tried Godot and loved it. Are you using 2.x or 3? I'm using 3, the beta. A daily build of the beta. Lucretius said, you've inspired me to start a weekly game dev live stream. I'll probably start off with like 1 viewer though. Haha. Oh, that's great, man. That's great. Josh Taylor says, I would just create an event script on its own which extends node, and then you can make whatever type of node you want become an event by then extending that script. That's good, but I want to stay away from extending scripts because that kind of makes it kind of easy to have, easy to kind of like end up with things that you don't really want to have happen. I mean, like, you can kind of tweak in a way that doesn't really work. I'm trying to think of how I want to say it, but like, it's easy to have like inheritance issues because it's like, oh, I put all my event stuff in one event class, and it's kind of awkward or it's kind of weird or whatever the case is. But I think that like I think that this might be a good approach. What Mariano Sulugoi mentioned, because if I recall, children stay in sequence. So this is a list essentially, but they can have children of their own. So I can have an event, and inside of that event, say a say message type event. And then once you go through that, it looks for the next event, and if there isn't one, then we're done with the sequence of events. But that's still kind of awkward though. That's still kind of awkward because you can't really do ifs, you can't really do branches. So it needs to be something else. But the node system might be something I can investigate. It might be something I can work on. So let's go ahead and just finish off because this is going to take some more planning. Oh, that's nice. I didn't know I could do that. I got those diagonals. It's next to impossible to actually hit that diagonal, but it does like visualize. Okay, so all right, so that's working. So let's go ahead and just finish this off. We're gonna have the event class just do a basic event that just sets a variable. I'm sorry, that just displays something. Mariano Sulugoi linking a tutorial. Josh Taylor says, I know what you're talking about, but that's only if you try to go full OOP with it. Yeah, maybe it wouldn't be an issue. I have to like look into Godot and really think about like how I would want to kind of do events. Like RPG Maker was nice because you could like easily jump into an event and like step through what it does and how it works. Alright, so I'm just gonna do this real quick. This kind of old, awkward, awkward approach to things. Get node slash what is it? Slash game or slash root slash game slash GUI slash dialog window. Dot set text. It's a pot. So I'll just have to come back later and like properly test this. Whoa, bro, this mess works. Nice. All right, so there's still quite a bit to actually like work on and improve. This isn't like anywhere close to being like functional. It's just kind of hacks, but it works. It works, and that's good. It's very good. So yeah, the dialogue system could be auto-loaded. It doesn't have to be something that's in each individual game scene. The event system could be kind of generalized to be more kind of simplified. So either we like add individual events like, oh, say this message, you know, blah, 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 blah. But see, what happens if you want to have a thing where it's like, oh, you say yes or no, like you have a choice and you say yes or no, and then that changes things. So like the dialogue system or just the event flow system could be kind of expanded upon. But it seems like a few people are mentioning kind of using signals. So maybe I'll use some signals. Look into some signals. But that's not bad. It might also be. Yeah, I might just go ahead and make an event thing that like you can go ahead and just add events to. Like, oh, here's say this line and then say this line and then give them this, you know, inventory item and then, you know, set this variable, etc., etc. I'm not sure. I have to kind of look more into Godot. But this is pretty good so far. This is actually not bad. That works. Like that's not bad at all. That works really well. So actually, we have to go back and set the event. We want visible false. I guess get node sprite not visible false. There we go. But now the flip side of this, actually, we did this thing with the control group idea, but we don't actually need to use a group, I don't think, because we can actually just use the fact that it has an interact function. Like if it has an interact function, then just call interact on it, and that's good because basically that makes it so that if it can interact, it will interact. So we don't actually have to have a group with the interact. Wait a second, I didn't do that right. We don't have to actually have a group that indicates if something can interact. It just, if it can, then it is interactable. Yeah. For the final thing, we're gonna make it so that you can actually like get out of it. So the way I always used to do this was basically to have the interacting variable indicate what the player's interacting with. So if interacting, I guess that's fine. We set it to be not true, but the body itself. And then we say if you are interacting, then if you press input is action just pressed, interact, then call interacting.interact. So this says basically interact with it if you can again. I guess we can also say the result equals this. I'm gonna say if result equals true. If, I guess we could just do this. If interacting.interact, then we've interacted with it and it's nothing left to do. Then we're good. We set interacting to be null. So we can say here interacted equals false. If interacted equals if not interacted, then we go ahead and say set the text and set interacted to be true. Otherwise, return true and interacted to be false. So this basically means that we can do one thing with this. So like we'll go ahead and come up, press X. It'll start typing, we press X again, and we can walk away. I guess the easier way to do this would be to simply return true normally, and if there's nothing else to do, then return null. So that indicates like, oh, there's nothing, literally nothing left to do. Or I guess return false. However you think about it. I guess that's fine. Return true, yeah. Okay. So we can do this again. So let's do this. Dialog equals this. So I still have to like actually set this up right to use signals. I'm not sure if signals, like I said, can be targeted. If so, then that would be good for the dialogue. If it can't be targeted, that it would still be useful for the dialogue, but I don't think I could use it for this, what I'm doing here. But that's fine. I don't really need it for what I'm doing here. We'll do like this. Clear text. Clear text. Let's see. Yeah, this will just be shorthand, I guess, for set text, like that. That's stupid. We'll just leave it like that and allow you to clear text by calling set text with a blank string. Very nice. That actually works really well. Like it's very clean, very simple. You don't need to visualize collision shapes anymore. That works. That works. I have no complaints. Works really well. Really low poly. No, low poly. Low resolution. Feels like something like a Game Boy game or something. Very nice. Josh Leonard Mayer says, "Oh well, Josh Taylor. There's people saying stuff." James Rogers says, "What are the resolutions of the tiles? Is 10 by 10. The character is 10 by 20." Josh Taylor says, "You could also make an event singleton as an auto load, though I try to avoid those as much as I can. Sometimes they do make sense though. One advantage is that it could hook into achievements." Leonard Mayer says some global state events could be nice. Josh Taylor says the finite state machine plugin might, I guess, work with this. I haven't tried it, but the visual FSM editor seems quite nice. I haven't seen a finite state machine editor. I guess you mean that's an asset. I think I saw it in here. In the asset. Yeah, here. This one. A finite state machine implemented purely in code. Cool. Very nice. Or maybe you mean this one. Finite state machine. Okay. Oh, very nice. Oh, I can't really. I don't think I can resize this. Ah, this actually might be really good. This because I was trying to figure out some method of like doing a state system, not a state system, but like, you know, events. This might actually work pretty well if you can kind of have them lead from one to the other. That's interesting. Interesting. I might end up using that. Very nice. Okay, so that's actually turning out pretty well. Whew. Well, that was about 2 hours, and ended up making some cool stuff. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Oh, in case you were wondering about that other game I was working on, the other test game. I just wanted to show what I had on the 3D side of things. Whoa, cameras. Okay, camera. Oh, I guess I must have messed up something with the. Okay, there we go. Oh, they must have changed something with the camera between the previous beta and this beta, because this is like way messed up. They must have fixed whatever I worked. Like I must have seen a bug and like worked around it, and then they came around and fixed it. And I was like taking advantage of broken behavior, I'm guessing, because something about the camera is like way off from how I last remember leaving this project. So yeah, this is like a little 3D platformer I'm working on. So yeah, it's working pretty well. Feels kind of pretty fun to just run around. I still have a lot to do. Even just for kind of a basic gameplay test, there's still quite a bit to do. But it's fun. It's fun to play. It's fun to make. Yeah, so next time we stream, you might be surprised at the state of things as it stands then. Josh Taylor says, nah, man, that looks intentional. That tilting. All that tilting. Oh, yeah, that's totally... I totally meant to have the camera tilt horribly and wildly. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. I've been SolarLoon, and it's been real. Streaming and doing game dev stuff in Godot. Trying things I've never done before, especially. And making kind of fun little test projects and things. At least for now. If you're interested in supporting me, please feel free to go ahead and check out my Patreon. It's in the description. My Bandcamp to listen to the music I make. I have SoundCloud. I have Itch, and my game on Steam. If you want to buy those titles, Geared, that's also would be really appreciated. Leave a review, a positive review if you can. All that kind of stuff. All right, well, thank you very much for watching. Josh Taylor asks, how did you do the ledge grab? I use a couple of raycasts. Where's it? Pop? There he is. I use a couple of raycasts, one down and one forward. The down tells where he's on the approaching the. Basically, down tells when he's falling next to a grabbable ledge, and forward also tells when he's at a wall. And we use that information to kind of determine how far back to place him and how far up to place him from the ledge. Right there. And then also the forward is used to kind of keep him. Oh, the dot product of the forward vector, the forward raycast, is used to allow him to slide forward and back, left and right rather, along the side of the ledge. So it's not perfect because you can slide through things, you can jump onto this ledge and slide past this pillar even though there's nothing to grab. He just slides right past it. So it's not perfect. There's still some things I need to improve and fix and stuff, but it still works okay for now. So it's a fun little stand-in that needs to be kind of fleshed out and improved and fixed. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. And yeah, if you could throw me a couple of bucks here or there, I'd appreciate it. But otherwise, thanks, and it's been real. See ya.